Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and we're bringing you Nicholsworth, and today from Thomas Nelson we have the KJV and the NKJV wide margin sovereign Bibles. So let's check them out and do a quick little comparison to the personal size. So you can see they both have the genuine leather covers. They're both very nice. This is quite a bit softer leather. This is actually printed in India while these were printed in China. So you're going to see some subtle differences here and there. So the one difference you're going to see is the size. This is about a 9 by a 5.5. This is a 9 3/4 by about a 6.5. So it's about an inch wider this way and about 3/4 of an inch wider this way. And there's a reason for all that. So let's take a look at the cover really quick. I absolutely love these 3 tool lines that surround the perimeter of the cover. Of course, it's perimeter stitched, has a red and a black ribbon, and it has the standard sovereign spine that you're used to with the raised hubs and the decorative stamping on it. It looks really sharp. So once you get into the liner, this is where this one was kind of disappointing for me. This is a paste down liner. Now on the genuine leather, they had the sewn in liner. Now this is synthetic, so it's not going to be an animal skin, but it is edge line. So that's quite nice. I don't know that you're giving up a whole lot there, but I do definitely prefer an edge line Bible. But I'm also going to show you why this is an advantage to not have this one edge lined as well. So when you get into the text itself, you're going to see some subtle differences between this one and the personal size. Now one thing I did notice is the pages tend to dimple right here in the margin, and the paper feels a little more fluffy than I'm used to, but this is a 40 GSM fairly opaque paper, and it has a 1-inch margin all the way around except for on the top. On the top it's just a little over a 1/2 inch. So you've got all this extra margin space and you have your same layout that you're used to in the Sovereign. So let's go to a same spot in the Bible here. Okay, so here we are in 2 Samuel on page 401. We'll go to 401 in this one. And when you look, you see it is the exact same layout. So there are no differences between the two layouts other than the margin space. And this one actually has gold drop caps rather than red. It's very hard to be consistent with red print. So you can see that some of the drop caps in red tend to look really over inked. And then some of them tend to look quite nice and lovely like that one. With this gold, that eliminates that. Now this was a little weird to me at first. I was kind of like on the fence, but once I got used to the gold, I really learned to love it. And let me tell you where it really shines is when you get to the New Testament and you get to the red letters. Notice how you got the red, the red, the red. Well, when you get to the red letters in this, see how the gold just kind of makes those red letters pop a little bit more. They don't look as pinkish. For some reason, the really dark red in the drop cap tends to make this red letter look a little lighter when it's not. Now I did notice the red letter does seem to be a tad inconsistent in this, but for the most part it's got a really dark burgundy red letter and it looks really sharp. The advantage of not edge lining this Bible is, like when you open this one, you see how that humps up in the middle. Well, this gives you that full margin in both translations. You have this wide open, so you get your full inch margin. So this is essentially 2 inches of margin right here. You have your notes on the bottom. You have your 9-point font. And of course, the King James and the New King James are both red letter. Now this is interesting. They decided to go with the headers in gold instead of red. I'm kind of indifferent about that, but it's interesting. So once you get into the New Testament here, again, you see the red letters, really dark, really burgundy-ish, looks really sharp. So I like this a lot. I love the way it lays flat. Like I said, the paper feels a little fluffy, but it is a 40 GSM paper. And again, these are printed in India and not China like the originals. So if you love the layout of the Sovereign, but you want something with a wraparound wide margin, which this is really probably the first thing in a while that Thomas Nelson has released that is a full-blown wide margin all the way around. So if you like the Sovereign layout and you really want that wide margin and you like the King James and the New King James, this is really a nice option for you. They really did a good job putting these together. One thing that I did notice is the binding does seem a little looser in these than it does in some of the others, but that could be due to the lack of edge lining. Also, this is a new printer. This new printer may have a different stitching philosophy, and Time will tell whether or not these will hold up, but they look pretty solid to me, and I just absolutely love the Sovereign. I love wide margins. I love the space that it gives on the page. It really makes the text be able to breathe. This is an awesome Bible. There you have it. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.